Yesterday marks 1 full year since the final part of Ash vs. Leon was first graced onto our TV screens, and I'm just kind of here. I just kind of want to take some time to, reminisce about that whole time in Pokemon and that whole time of my life, how much that episode means to me. I just kind of just wanted to have a little discussion about it. First of all, man, I should have recorded this yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm kind of late. The anniversary was yesterday. I'm just now recording it, but I kind of want to just go back in time to that time in Pokemon. So the third part of Ash vs. Leon had just came out, and Leon had 2 Pokemon left, Cinderace and Charizard, and Ash only had Pikachu. I remember during this time, I was really curious, how is Ash gonna beat him? How is Ash gonna do it? Pikachu already took in damage, a lot of damage actually, while Cinderace took no damage, right? It hadn't even been touched. It hadn't been hit whatsoever. Charizard took a little bit of damage because of the 10 million volt showdown versus G-Max Wildfire, that whole thing. It took a little bit of damage, but Cinderace was unscathed. I didn't know how I was going to take him down. Going into that, I was really, really hyped and see how it was going to happen, because I already felt like Ash was going to win this. The way they were building up to this, I was like, there's no way Ash is losing this. It would be horrible. I ain't gonna lie. It would have been horrible if he ended up losing. All this build up, him beating number 3 and number 2, for him to just lose to Leon. And also, I know Leon was not going to be an important figure and whatever the Gen 9 anime was going to be. So I was like, Ash has to beat him. Also, Eternatus did appear in the third part, but no one knew what he was going to do. I did not know what he was going to do, what his role was. So I was still sitting here how is Ash going to end up? How is Pikachu going to beat both Cinderace and Charizard? So I knew they were going to win, but I had no idea how we were going to get there, right? So they were building up suspense. So I was just super, super, super hyped. And I remember, this is kind of personal, but I remember there's this really bad situation I was in during this time when the Ash vs. Leon fight was coming out. So I was going through that, and I think Pokemon was really my only joy during this time. I was watching, I was getting hyped. That was really my only thing I really had going on in life at the moment. I was really, my whole life was pretty bad. So my only bright spot during this time was really just Pokemon, the anime, just being super hyped for it, and hyped for what was going to happen. So, and then the episode comes out, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought that this episode was the best episode of anything I've ever seen. I thought this was the best episode of television I've ever seen, and I was super hyped. It was an amazing episode, amazing. And a year later, best episode of television, I was kind of gassing it, but I still think this episode was the best episode of Pokemon, hands down. I don't think anything has topped it, will ever top it, unless, Ash comes back, right? I think this episode's just perfect. The only gripe I kind of have was the Pikachu and Cinderace stuff. Pikachu kind of took him down really fast in a really weird way, the build up for Cinderace, and he kind of just gets taken out like that was a little, weak. But I still think the G-Max stuff was hype. It ties back into episode 12, 13, whatever episode that was. I kind of forget, where Pikachu first used Gigantamax against Leon's Charizard. So I think that was really hype, and that was kind of the weak spot of the episode. But I still think the G-Max battle was pretty good. And then we get into the Pikachu and Charizard battle. The battle against the 2 mascots of the series, Pikachu and Charizard. I think those are the 2 biggest Pokemon ever, right? Definitely the 2 mascots of this whole series, right? And then we get Ash versus Leon, of course. The strongest trainer in the world versus the rookie. His first season in the World Championships, of course. So he's the rookie. I remember some people were kind of mad about that. They were calling Ash a rookie, but what they meant was he's a rookie here. He's never been in the World Championships before. He's a rookie, right? So I think that battle is perfect music choices. I think the speeches before the battle begins with Ash and Leon saying, yo, this is what all my adventures lead up to is this battle. I think that's powerful. Oh my goodness, I love that. And then the battle itself is incredible. And then we get that fake out. The whole battle is great. And then we get the fake out where, it looks like Pikachu's gonna give out. It might be over. And then we get to see the vision of all of Ash's Pokemon saying, yo, get up, yo, you can do this. And of course we get the audio of Pikachu first meeting Ash and stuff like that. I think that moment is amazing. And then we get the big climax where Pikachu just gets back up, kind of goes Super Saiyan. Yo, Leon's fired up, yo, that's what we've been waiting for. And then we get the second fake out where it shows, Ash and Pikachu end up winning it. And man, 25 years of adventures had led up to that. I saw this episode and I was like, bro, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think Ash was gonna end up leaving, but I was like, if Ash ends up leaving this series, I would not be mad at all. after seeing that episode. After this whole battle it was perfect. I think it was perfect. Obviously with a few issues. Like I said, I think the Cinderace stuff, he was built up to be like, I think Cinderace's build up was great, but the kind of the execution was a little weak. I think that was the big issue was Cinderace, but doesn't matter. I think this episode was perfect. It was amazing. And I was like, if Ash leaves the series after this, I wouldn't mind. And then lo and behold, he ended up leaving because I don't think anything the anime can do will ever top this. And that's okay. It doesn't need to top it. It won't ever top it. But I think that episode was just perfect. And I remember that, I'm going to get a little personal, but that was a really bad time in my life. Like, I remember, like, it was just, I was in a really bad situation, and I felt like the only bright spot in my life was Pokemon. Like, I would watch the anime every week, or watch it unsubbed, 6 a.m, because I was just so hyped for it. Like, I don't think I've ever been hyped for anything except for like maybe Gear 5 and One Piece. I was really, really hyped for that. But I don't think I've ever really been hyped. Even then, even with Gear 5, like, I already knew what was going to happen. I already read the manga when it came out. I didn't know what was going to happen with Pokemon. No one knew because, there's no manga. It's just anime, right? So I didn't know what was going to happen every week. But like I said, I was going through something in my life really bad, and Pokemon was the only bright spot in my life. So when I saw this episode, it kind of made me feel like, anything's possible. Because people doubted Ash bad. Like, people was doubting him. People on Twitter was talking about, Ash isn't going to win this shit. There's no way he's going to win. He's going to lose and then go to the next region. It's going to be a repeat. It's just going to be a repeat of everything that happened. Obviously, I knew, me, personally, as soon as the World Championships started, I was like, there's no way Ash is going to really lose, right? There's no way. Because unlike leagues, I didn't think you can really do the PWC again. Like, it would have been weird if they just went back from zero and did it again. Like, it's not really like a league. Like, with a regional league, there's new people, there's a new region to explore, so it's different. But with the PWC, you're kind of just going to face the same people again. Leon, Cynthia, like, who's going to really overtake those people? So it would have been weird to do the PWC again. So judging by that and the way just Journeys was feeling, like what I was feeling, like I was like, there's no way Ash loses this. And then he ends up beating number 3 and number 2, Steven and Cynthia. So I was like, there's no way he's going to end up losing this. You don't go this far and then lose, especially since Leon is not going to be relevant in whatever the Gen 9 anime was going to be. Obviously, no one knew at the time, because I remember they were doing false leaks and all this shit, so no one knew what the Gen 9 anime was going to be. But whatever it was going to be, Leon was not going to be the focus of that. So I was like, thinking about all that stuff, I was like, there's no way he loses this. And seeing him eventually win over all of the scrutiny, all of the overcoming everything, right? He had to go up against number 3, number 2, and number 1. He had all the odds stacked against him. Like, he had number 8 had to go against number 3, number 2, number 1, and he beat them all. It was looking bad, bro. The Steven match, like, people still say, like, how the fuck did Ash win that? I kind of agree. Like, that was a weird win. Cynthia, Lucario had to go up against 2 Pokemon, Togekiss and Garchomp. He had to go against a Dynamax Togekiss, huge ass Togekiss, right? And Garchomp. Obviously, Sirfetch'd did, come in clutch. He got Garchomp down a bit, but still, Dynamax Togekiss. Mega Lucario had to take down both of them, and he ended up doing it. And Pikachu, I think Pikachu's the best one. Pikachu had to sit here and take down an undamaged Cinderace. It took no damage during that battle. And it had to take down Charizard, the strongest Pokemon in the world. Leon's Charizard. They had to take that down too. He ended up doing it. What that told me is that I could do anything. I can't let this get me down. What my situation was at the time, I was like, I can't let this get me down. If Ash could do this, take down 3, number 2, and number 1, I could do what I could overcome what I was going through. And so that's what this episode really taught me. And of course, the episode was incredible. Amazing animation all throughout. Even the Cinderace and Pikachu stuff, which a lot of people aren't really too fond of, that still looked amazing. And obviously the Pikachu Charizard stuff, us seeing all of Ash's companions watching his battle, seeing all of his Pokemon. 10 out of 10, perfect Pokemon episode. 25 years of stuff really did lead up to this, and it was a very, very satisfying conclusion. There's really no problems with this episode. Like, even the Cinderace Pikachu stuff, I don't care about that, because the Charizard Pikachu stuff more than makes up for that. I don't even care about that. You don't even care about that by the time you get to the end of this episode. You don't not care about that. This episode is 10 out of 10 perfect. I don't think anybody can ever convince me otherwise. And I think the whole Ash vs. Leon battle is a great send-off. I don't think, obviously there's, a few problems in the battle, but those are minimal. This is a perfect send-off for Ash. This was a perfect send-off for Ash. And honestly, looking back at it, I don't know how people didn't catch on to Ash was actually gonna leave. I don't know how I didn't catch on to it, because things he was saying in this battle was obviously like we should have known, right? He was saying all of our adventures lead up to this. There's no where do you go after that? Nowhere. So, there's nowhere to go after that. We should have known. All of our adventures lead up to this. Niggas was saying Ash was saying like this is the battle to end all battles. This is the battle that all of our adventures have led up to. And like I said, there's no way you could top a battle like that. When a character says something like that, there's no way to top that. So I'm happy Ash left after that, because they would never top that battle. Now, it would have been interesting to see Ash live life as a freaking monarch, as the monarch. It would have been fun to see one last series of him doing that, but the way they did it, I think it's fine. It was fine. This was the perfect send-off for Ash. I really don't have any problems with it. Like I said, even how I felt back then, I'm like, if Ash goes, I'm content. I'm content. This was perfect. I'm still content. I still miss Ash, in Horizons, watching Horizons. I kind of fall back on the series a lot. Sometimes I feel like, damn, this doesn't feel the same. I miss Ash, but at the same time, like, Ash's send-off is so perfect, he shouldn't come back. Unless it's like alternate universe Ash in those movies. Like, if he was the star of the movies, that would have been great. That would be great. But I just wanted to talk about this episode, talk about, my feelings about it, and, just kind of reflect on the episode. It's been a while since I even seen the episode, but I kind of just wanted to reflect on it for its, 1 year anniversary. Perfect episode. I love this episode. Well, that's all for me, and I'll see you on the next one. I will catch up on my Horizons reviews. I'm like 4 episodes behind. We'll post a One Piece review. A chapter just came out, so I will do my review on that. But that's all for me, and I'll see you on the next video.